that's how you do that. Let's go, boys. She is home. We can finally stop talking about it. We can be about it. And we can start this train moving forward. I could not be any more excited. Thank you to Luke for your help. Bogoma too. Brother, you guys, y'all come in clutch. And I couldn't be more thankful for either one of you. Thank you. But let's get into it because we have the LBZ Duramax here. It's on the floor. We got a little bit of work to do, but it's going to be in this truck by the end of the week. Got some cleanup work. We got some prep work that we got to do. We're not in my shop right now, though. We are actually in a shop in Mexico. I just had everything brought here. There's a couple things that we need to remove, a couple things that are going to fall off, because they're not mounted on there the greatest. And we're going to get this thing where it looks like a regular engine. Now, if you guys remember, this came out of a van. This isn't our permanent motor. This is our core motor, but we are going to have some fun with it nonetheless because, like our girl Lola, this thing has over 450,000 miles on it, and it is an absolute ripper. So again, I could get this thing, in a perfect world, if I got this thing assembled tomorrow, truck, everything, it was done. Again, we're talking in a fantasy world here. And I took it out and I stood on it and then I blew up the motor. It's still good enough to be a core as long as I don't window anything. So keep that in mind. So if my goal was to make this thing a roller, I got a running engine here. So, I mean, you know, if we can cut a couple corners and speed up the process a little bit, why wouldn't we, right? But the quick itinerary for this video is I want to get all the wiring off of it. I want to get the intercooler pipe off of it, the intake tube, and then the intake plenum here with all that dumb shit on there. The radiator hose, the extra hoses, the stuff over there, and some of the other junk. I need to get all of that off. That way this thing is easier to work with. It's easier to deal with. And we'll also need to get the fan off of it as well. Get the starter out and get the old converter off, and we need to get the adapter plate off. That way we can drop this drivetrain out, get the adapter plate off of the back because this is an Allison. This had a hydromatic behind it. We'll switch those out, and then we will lower her into place, put the Allison behind it, the transfer case back behind it, and the drive shaft, because again, these two units right here aren't going to be what pilots this truck. They are just here for mock-up. That way when the cab goes on the chassis, we know what kind of clearances we're dealing with. But let's stop talking. Let's get right into it. We're going to start tearing shit apart. Let's go. Boys, now she's starting to look like a regular engine, and as you can see, it has one of my favorite modifications on it already. Our forward-facing thermostat housing, that's factory option right there, boys. Van only. And I was looking at this dipstick. The dipstick comes forward here. I think being in the OBS truck, that's going to work out a lot better. But we got the majority of our van stuff off. Some shit over there fell off. Some more stuff over here has to get removed. But that's about as close as we're going to get it for teardown, at least right now. I got a big mess on the... Of course you would. Of course you would! Now, before we were rudely interrupted, we got a bit of a mess here that we're going to clean up because we're going to pick things up when we get home from work, which is going to be dropping this entire drivetrain. The engine will not come, it's not coming out yet. I'm probably gonna start fresh. I'll start the day that I do that, it'll be a fresh day. But I at least want this I at least want the transfer case, the drive shaft, and the I got to get what's left of the starter out of there, and I at least want the torque converter broken loose from the flywheel. I'll be happy with that. So like I said, we're gonna clean this mess up a little bit so that way we can get prepared for tonight. We're just gonna keep forging forward, guys. We'll see you then. Okay, I got a lot further than I thought I was gonna get. You guys are a pretty smart audience. That's out, so you know what the next step is. And I've been waiting for this moment for a very, very long time. We got a void all up in here that we gotta fill. And everybody's favorite Misty Cat. And along with that void to fill, we got a big ass mess, which conveniently enough, we could clean this mess by putting everything back where it belongs. But not in this video. No. Not in this video. We ain't got enough time for that. Not only that, but I think that's enough time lapsing for one video. But I assure you, in the next video, we're going ham. It's going to be more than just putting a drivetrain in. We're putting other components back in it as well, and I could not be more excited. I'm excited. Honestly, this is one of those projects that's been sitting around for a few years actually. And my biggest fear is it was going to be one of those things that kept getting pushed around, which it did. And then I'd lose interest in it, which I did, but we're coming back. We're coming back with it. And that's because, quite frankly, it's my favorite shit box of all time. It was my first ever diesel truck, so there's that. But anyway, more of that boring history later. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, guys. We have a lot of information coming down the pipeline next. Stay tuned for that. Bring your pens and pads of paper, because trust me, you're not going to want to miss any of this. But take care. God bless. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Be good to one another. See ya.